All right, so what are we doing here today? This was supposed to be a 3 hour Zone 2 ride, but given the fact that it's quite obvious we're in late October these days and the weather outside hasn't been great for a while now, everything pretty much has moved inside, especially for me. But Zone 2 rides inside, while they're easy to do, they're also incredibly boring to do, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and see if I can jumpstart my motivation here a little bit and do some different stuff. This probably won't be a complete Zone 2 ride because what I've decided to do is the Watopia Pretzel. Obviously, it's got a lot of climbing involved. So it's going to be up and down all day pretty much. And I'm not quite sure how to approach this. But one of the things about training, especially on Zwift, is once you get on the turbo, really, it's not Zwift specific. It's just, that's the platform I'm using, obviously. It's just that when you get inside, motivation is key. If you don't motivate it, you don't get the ride. So I'm just trying to keep things fresh here. I've been doing, pacer bots and group rides for a while. Couldn't find a race to do today, but it was not a group ride. Getting a little tired of that too. So I decided to do something different. So we'll see how this one goes, huh? So looking at the route up there below the mini map, the flat section in between the climbs are actually pretty big too. It's pretty long. I'll estimate it to be about, well, I don't know, what is that, about 30K? So that's probably going to prove the biggest challenge here today, is to keep focused on that long middle part there. And on the climbs, won't be as much of an issue because you're not going to run out of gas. You can just pace them, obviously, which I'm going to do. But keeping the mind in it, this time of year, if you haven't got a specific goal other than that, just in getting the kilometers in, that's when it starts getting tough. I mean, at least that's the way it usually is for me. If anybody's got some tips as to how to get through this, or kind of just break through that barrier, I'll be more than happy to hear about it. But like I said, just trying to shake things up a little here just to see if I can't get my motivation. I'm not demotivated. That's not what I'm saying here, really. It's just, I just want to make this a little bit more interesting than just sitting in a pack of 80 people with a pace block. So we'll give this a go instead. Weapon of choice today, Tarmac SL8, fully upgraded. And the new Envy wheels there, what do they call them? SES 4.5, I think it is. Supposedly the best all-rounders at this point. So we'll test them out today, see how they go. I have no idea how quick I can do this. I don't think I've actually done it before. At least not on my own. Might have raced on it once, so I'm not sure if I got the batch or not. But I guess we'll know in a couple hours. Plus. So like I said, I have absolutely no idea how to pace this. I think in my mind, I'd like to go below 2.5 hours on this route, but yeah, I have no idea what that exactly is going to take in terms of power or speed or whatnot. So I have zero pacing strategy other than this, do it. We got a couple of gels on me here, but I honestly don't expect that I need too much. I plan on keeping it in, in zone 2, maybe a little bit zone 3. So I shouldn't be needing too much fuel. 2.9K for the pass. I've always had trouble just making that fit in my head because to me it doesn't feel that long. But if that's what they say, that's probably how it is. I will say though, good 37 minutes in here. It hasn't felt like 37 minutes. I think if I'd been in a pacer group on a Watopia waistband or something like that, something totally uneventful, I should imagine that 37 minutes probably would have felt like an hour and a half or so. It just gets a little tedious sometimes. So, radio tower coming up. That one might get a little bit tedious. Basically because it's so steep that unless you really want to, go all out heading up that thing, it's going to take forever. I reckon it's going to take at least a good 10 minutes for me to get up that one. Here at about 200 watts maybe. Normally, I'm not even sure what my personal best is. I think that must have been a few years back anyhow. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just guessing here, but let's go have a look. Make a note of the clock once we actually start to climb. See how long it takes. My guess is about 10 minutes. That's hilarious. I love it. Well, going nice and easy. I'm not even breathing hard at this point, so hoping this continues, and I'll probably push on the epic reverse if I got something left. Otherwise, we're just going to be here all damn day. I don't think the runners have gradient simulations on their equipment there. That Canadian there that just passed me. And I got a fellow Dane is catching me up about 10 seconds back. The way this is going, I'm going to get caught before the summit. That's absolutely hilarious. I love it. All right. Okay, 8 minutes. That's quite a lot better than I had expected, I gotta say. All right. Okay. So toughest climb of the day is done, but obviously we got about 55K remaining. Some of it's downhill though and flat, mostly downhill and flats actually. So one climb remaining, as you can see there on the map and the profile. All right. I will say this did not feel like 50 minutes so far, so I guess in that respect, this is working out as intended. I haven't been pushing over so too either. As a matter of fact, I've been pretty bang on. If you look at the graph down there, it's looking pretty good. Obviously, I'm going to get some rest now, so it's not going to be 100% zone 2 this ride. But as long as my mind doesn't get tired, I'm pretty happy with that. All right then, descent done. And So I guess we're going up. What we're going to do is going up the Watopia wall in reverse, meaning we're going to pass in the cycling aliens up there that you can see between the two peaks, going up that way. And after that, I have zero idea which way we're going around. All I know is that we got to go back up the Watopia wall from the other side at some point. But how we're going to get there, I have no clue. So, just going to spin and take it as it comes. Okay. So, about 20 kilometers of flat remaining. By my best estimate, anyhow. So literally, it feels like you're stuck in the mud right here. Which, when you come to think of it, is actually pretty brilliant by Zwift. Environmental simulation. 10 out of 10. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, 30K remaining. Can I do that within the hour? I have no clue. That's where we're headed. Straight ahead. One more time. At least we're not going up the radio tower this time. $25K, just about, I don't know, a third of it is uphill. A third of it is downhill, and a third flat. And we got about 50 minutes to do that. That should be possible. Well, this kind of feels like the radio tower, I gotta say. Don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, but still, I'd rather be here than on the flat gravel. All right, 28 minutes. I'm not gonna make that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my personal best is a lot better than that, but it was like 7 years ago. Okay, kick. Let's get some speed on this thing. Yeah, 4.4. What a kick, huh? Oh man, I'm telling you, this downhill from this side, that's like getting a shirt for Christmas, because I mean, you just want to rest your legs a little bit here. You got this downhill going. Oh, it's all nice. Everybody's having a good time, right? And then look at the road. And not just that, it's long enough for you to actually have to put in an effort if you don't want to be standing still. But once this is over with, the rest of it is downhill and flats. Of course, we got to get through the flat gravel as well, which is, yeah, kind of like the swamp of lost souls at this point here. That's how it feels. It's just where any enthusiasm goes to die. All right, 16 minutes, 8.5K remaining. Can we do that? Remains to be seen. 2 hours, 30 minutes. That is the mark. Got some uphill, got some gravel, all kinds of boring stuff that we need to navigate. 7K, about 14 minutes remaining. So that's what, we just gotta maintain an average speed of over 30. That should be doable. I will say though, this was a heck of a lot easier to do mentally than a 2.5 hour ride with a pacer bot. I mean, it's useful and all, it really is. It's an easy way to get miles in if that's what you're talking about. But if you're just talking about hours on the bike, mentally, I think this was a lot more doable than just sitting in a group for 2.5 hours straight doing nothing. You just end up sitting there watching, waiting for the coffee break. In this situation, you know, coffee breaks are the downhill. So, for me at least, this seemed to work better today. I'm sure if I keep doing this, that's probably gonna grow old on me too at some point, and I gotta change it up, because that's just the way I'm wired. But for now, I think this is what I'm gonna do. Pick some somewhat difficult routes, ride them, and then just, you know, take whatever stress score it gives me. This has been mainly zone 2, as you can see, a little bit of zone 3 here on the home stretch. But other than that, it's been pretty doable. I don't suspect I'm going to be feeling too fatigued after this. Just make sure I get something to eat afterwards, and I should be good. 500 meters to the finish line, that doesn't really make sense. 400 meters. Maybe the segment doesn't end at the finish line. We're about to find out. All right. Well, this seemed to work out nicely. It's up 2 hours 30. I'm happy with that. I'm sure I can improve on it if I really want to, but that wasn't the goal here today. It was just getting the kilometers in and sticking with something that resembles a training plan. And today, this was the way to do it. So, all right. All right, that's all I got time for today, unfortunately, but